Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you guys are new. In today's video, we're going to be talking about r.e.m. beauty, and we're going to be doing a first impressions / demo of the one product that I picked up from Ariana Grande's new makeup line. This is the eyeshadow palette in Midnight Snack, which is the cool tone palette, and I did create this look that I have on my eyes using this palette. So this palette retails for $24 and I did purchase it on launch day. However, it did get lost in the mail for about 10 days. It was scanned on the 18th of November and then not again until the 28th. So I'm really glad that they found the package and that it made it to my house, but there was just a little bit of confusion as far as the tracking situation went and the shipping situation went. But I actually did end up reaching out to r.e.m's customer service email address, and they responded to me within 5 minutes of my email to them, which I thought was amazing, especially for a new and very popular brand. And they couldn't do a lot because it wasn't them that they weren't the ones that lost the package, but she did actually provide me with a different tracking number than the one that I had from my shipping confirmation, which I thought was interesting, but it was a little bit more accurate, so that was nice that she sent it to me. It's a little bit strange why there were multiple tracking numbers for the same box, but she was very friendly and helpful as far as the situation went. And she also let me know that if I didn't receive the package within a couple of days, to email her again and let her know, and then we could figure out what to do from there. So I'm very happy with the customer service that I received from r.e.m. Beauty, and I just wanted to mention that in case you guys have any issues with it. It's the holiday season, so I know that the post office is having a hard time with all of the deliveries this season, and I get that. It's, you can't really do a whole lot about it. So here are the swatches from this palette. They're a little bit messy because I actually had to do this again. My intro wasn't recording, and I thought that it was, so it's a little bit muddy looking, but the swatches are actually really pretty in my opinion, and the shimmery blue shade is a lot more blue and vibrant than I expected it to be, which is nice because you could kind of mix it with the other shimmers to tone it down if you wanted to, but it provides a fun pop of color, and I think that it's a really pretty shift with the light, and I like it. So another thing to note is that these shades do actually stain a little bit. I actually swatched them for some pictures before I filmed this video, and it's still staining my arm even though I did try to wash that off. So that's just something to note. But yeah, I think the swatches look really pretty, and this is the eye look that I created with it, and I did use all 6 shades. So this is the packaging of this palette. It is more weighted, kind of like I've heard some other people mention. I also wanted to show you that mine did come with a little ding on it, and it was packaged pretty well in the unicorn that it came in, but it had a ding on it already and I just got it out of the package, so that was a little bit frustrating. But the packaging itself feels pretty nice. It doesn't feel like it's gonna break, and it actually does have a good bit of weight to it. And here is what the colors look like on the inside. It does have a magnetic closure, so it overall feels pretty nice, but this just kind of shows me that it might not hold up to everyday kind of wear and tear very well, because this part is a little bit more like 3D and pronounced. So we'll kind of see how this wears, but I'm not thrilled that it already has a good scratch on it, but what can you do? Okay, so I want to try and use every shade in this palette just because there's only 6 and I feel like that's doable. So I'm just going to start out with the lightest cream matte shade. For starters, I did use the NARS Tinted Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base in the shade Light. This is what I always use for eyeshadow, so I just figured that I would use it again. There is actually a ton of kickback in the pan. I'm not sure how much you'll be able to see here. Yeah, here we go. So that was just from dipping in once. It's not the end of the world, but you're going to just go through the shadow quicker. So I'm just going to tap off my brush and blend this out. Using the Sigma E40 blending brush. This is one of my go-to eyeshadow brushes. All right, I'm going to go into this middle shade here. It's another matte shade. Actually, these mattes are more like satins because they've got little bitty shimmer flecks in them, but they don't seem to be transferring onto the eye. So I'm just also putting this into the entire crease. So this is actually looking a little bit patchy here on the inner corner, and I've been blending this for quite some time, so I'm not really sure what's going on here. I'm adding a little bit more of that lighter shade in this section that was getting patchy. This is looking like pretty light so far. I'm going to go ahead and actually dip into the deepest matte shade. I'm just going to put this on the outer part of the lid, and then I'll start to blend it into the crease. This look is actually looking a little bit deeper in person than it's showing up on camera, but I'm going back in with that middle matte shade. I'm noticing like a good bit of patchiness here. I'm hoping that you guys can see like in this inner part. I think you can, like all the lines. That doesn't usually happen with my eyeshadow, so I'm just going to keep going into those lighter matte shades and try and fix that, but yeah. It's a little bit better, but I usually don't have that problem, so I'm not really sure what's going on. I'm going to use a little bit of a smaller crease brush with the darkest matte shade. Also, this is kind of making just a little bit of a mess in the palette. Just wanted to note that if that's something that bothers you. This deep shade is actually really pretty. It's blending out pretty nicely without looking too muddy. And then once again, I'm going to go in with the lightest shade and just go over everything because it's just kind of a little bit patchy. I'm not really sure what in the world is going on. All right, that's pretty much all I wanted to do with those matte shades. So I'm just going to do like a gradient with the shimmer shades. I'm going to start out with this lightest shimmer shade. And I'm going to put this on the most inner part of my lid. I'm not going to use any glitter glue just because I want to see how the shadows perform on their own. And then I'm going to go in with this more blue tone shimmer shade, put this on the center of the lid, and go in between the two and kind of blend them together. And then I'm going to dip into the deepest shade and put this on the outer corner. And then I'm going to go back into that crease brush and just blend above all these shimmers. If I were to use this without trying to test every color, I probably wouldn't reach into all of them, but I did want to try them all out for this video. But it's just very grungy and very, very cool tone altogether. Which the cool tone part I expected, but it's just, I'm not really sure that using all of them is the way to go for the best kind of look. And I do have a good bit of fallout here, so I'm just going to try and wipe that away with my powder brush. I typically do my eyes first, so fallout doesn't really bother me. But for the purpose of filming this video, I wanted to have my face makeup done. So that pretty much got rid of it. And then I'm going to get a little bit more of the lightest shade. And I'm going to run this underneath the lower lash line. So I actually feel like this is a really pretty look. It is a little bit deeper in person, like I mentioned. And I feel like with a black liquid liner, this would be really pretty. But I'm just going to go ahead and finish up the other eye. Do the same thing with these shimmer shades. Okay, I'm not mad at this. I feel like if I had done the eyes first and maybe even took a little bit more time blending, that this would have come out a little bit better. It's been a kind of long day and I really just wanted to test these out. So I wasn't really looking to like spend a ton of time on this look. I just kind of wanted to see how it would perform as far as a first impressions kind of thing went. And I am not mad about it. I was actually a little concerned when I was just putting on the matte shades, but I really like these shimmer shades especially. I think that they look really pretty. I like this a lot, especially with like a black winged liner. I don't have hers, but I'm honestly considering just putting one on that I have. Okay, I do think I'm gonna add just like a tiny black liquid line, and this is the e.l.f. H2o Proof Eyeliner Pen. I just want like a tiny little wing, but I feel like this look just needs a black liquid liner. I'm gonna go ahead and actually put a really thin liquid liner with this black liquid liner from e.l.f. on, and I'll be right back since it's not her liquid liner. Okay, I definitely think that this look needed that liquid winged liner. It just looks a lot better with it in my opinion. I'm just gonna go ahead and put on some mascara. This is another product from e.l.f. It's their Big Mood Mascara. All right, well, I actually really like how this look turned out. I am glad that I went ahead and used all of the shades. I feel like the only one that was getting patchy was this like middle matte shade, but it might just have been because I was trying to blend a little bit too fast, because I don't have any of that problem on this side. It was really only right here, and that could have been user error, especially since it's not happening all over the eye. I'm just not entirely sure how I did that, and I feel like that could have been, like I said, user error. So yeah, I really showed on the eyes first because I kind of made it a little bit messy, but as a whole, I really like the way this look turned out. It is definitely more like grungy and dimensional in person, which definitely stinks that I'm not able to really show you that on the camera, but I really like how this look turned out, and I am glad that I have this palette. And yeah, I actually feel like the price point of this was really good too, so let me know down below if you guys picked up any of the products from r.e.m. Beauty. I really only had my eye on this one, but one of the highlighter toppers actually looks really, really nice and gives almost like a wet look. So other than this, it's really the only other product that looks like appealing to me, to be honest, which is a little bit of a disappointment because I really do love Ariana Grande and I just love her music. I have been a fan of hers since she was Kat on Victorious. That was just one of my favorite shows ever. So anyways, this is a very cool product that she's come out with. I do really like it, but to be honest, if it weren't Ariana Grande launching this, like I probably wouldn't have picked it up, like if this were just like Makeup Revolution or Kiko or something, because to be honest, a lot of her packaging did remind me of Kiko. But you know what, this price point isn't really like that much more than Kiko in my opinion, so you know, I feel like it's a reasonable value for what you're getting. It does feel pretty nice. The one thing is that little nick on the front. It came out of the box like that, so I don't really love that. But overall, I do actually really like this product. I'm not entirely sure if I would suggest it to you unless you're just an Ariana Grande fan and you want to get something from her line. Then in that sense, yes. But to be totally honest, I don't think that this is like a super special palette or a unique palette in any way other than that it's Ariana Grande's brand. So I don't know. I'm not mad that I have it, and I do really like how this look is looking, but I think I'm just becoming a little bit more picky about my eyeshadow palettes because I love all of the ones that I already have. So to add a new one into my collection, I also want to love it. So I do feel like this is very unique to my collection because of the color story, but just like overall as a whole, I feel like it doesn't scream Ariana Grande. Other than that, it's her brand. So yeah, I mentioned that I was trying to kind of replace a couple of the shades from that H2o Rose Quartz palette because there were a couple of those kind of shades that looked more like these shimmers in that palette, and I wasn't sure if this shimmer here would be more blue or purple, and I definitely think it could come off either way depending on how you layer it. So I am actually really happy to have this in my collection because this does like kind of replace those few shades that I am missing from that Rose Quartz palette that I no longer own, and that was $67 and this was $24. So I overall am really happy to own this. I don't want to come off like I'm not. I just don't want to come on here and be like, this is the best palette ever, you need to spend your money on it and pay shipping and all of that. It's a good palette, and I feel like the choice is yours if you want to pick it up or not. But with that being said, you guys, that's going to be it for today's first impression review and demo of this r.e.m. Beauty eyeshadow in the shade Midnight Snack. I really hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, please go ahead and give the video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!